Right, welcome back, viewers, to another edition of Heads Up. And yes, we've got the goat here and myself here. And gee, goat, I can't remember the last time we sat down together like this in front of a camera. We even caught up.
I think, Neil, the last time I saw you in the flesh was
with clothes on.
Jesus Christ, should start again. The 2nd of January, I reckon, Tauranga races. But no, we'll keep going. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It feels like I see you every week, but
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But no, good to see you here. Thanks for your hospitality, and yeah, good to be doing it live together and not having to rely on Zoom. So hopefully we can find the viewers a winner or two. And got a new segment that we're going to bring out later in the show. We'll keep people in suspense just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Now, last week, some dickhead on Form Pro jumped ship off Rock on Wood onto some other female, Amy's Joel.
I did see that. 2 weeks ago, you were all over Rock on Wood.
It was the weather. On Tuesday, I thought, here we go, another sailor gear. Forecast rain for Saturday. Going to be a heavy track. Amy's Joel would just love that. But the rain didn't come.
No, literally, it did start raining just as the horses came back to scale.
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there. I got wet, actually, going out to there. But no, Amy's Jewel, maybe just a bridge too far. Yeah, I think it was her 6th start and trying to Group 1, but she'll keep. She's got ability, that's for sure. But Rock on Wood, also, you've always had a lot of time for, and great to see Leanne Elliott get her Group 1 and Ryan and the family. You could imagine, I think they paid $25,000 for that horse, and I reckon they would have been offered $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 for it.
Early on.
Yeah, as a 3-year-old. I'm probably not going to win that in the state. Probably not. But what it meant to the family, and you probably couldn't put a price on it. So well done to them for keeping that horse in New Zealand and letting us enjoy watching them race. So well deserved. Just sat 3 wide, but
in the open too. How many horses do you see win Group 1 sitting 3 wide in the open?
I think Cowie won that race basically similar way when he won it. He
at Hastings, wasn't it?
No, Trenton, when he won the Jason Waddell, he was sitting wide most of the way. But no, it was a dominant win and sprinted quickly for them.
Yeah.
Amy's Jewel running on late, had good sectionals. Concert Hall, good run.
They didn't go hard though. They were, I think from memory, 15 lengths slower for the first half compared to the second half. So she had no chance of the back. But Rock on Wood, he was sort of midfield, 3 wide. So
yeah,
best horse won. So.
Oh well, you'll learn.
He's going
to be loyal sometimes.
He's going to the Thorndon, I see too. He's going to give the Zabeel Classic a miss, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, you get that feeling, and yet he's priced at what, $4.50 in the Zabeel. So yeah, you certainly wouldn't be taking that. At the point. So yeah, I reckon he'll probably might have a run at our Pony in between times before the Thorndon.
Yeah,
that would be my guess. So
we had Spring Heat last week winning, but I can't see anything beating Levante in that railway. Just I think there's going to be a decent pace in that railway. She's going to be too good. So
yeah, good to see Kosi Asano start his Northern Sojourn with a win on his new boss's horse, Lance O'Sullivan and Andrew Scott. So she's always promised a lot. I'll never forget the day she bucked Correct a Million night when we had a decent bet on her in the Boys Get Paid Punters Club, and she bucked going out of the gate Spring Heat. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Not one of my favourites. You won't be getting a Christmas card.
I think that Kosi though, no, he can use the whip on both hands, and I know Ted isn't it? Ted's manager. So I think Kosi's a terrific rider, obviously, and he's going to speak well as long as he stays out of the inquiry room. Yeah, the steward room.
Yes, he got a suspension on that day. Speaking of Ted, one of his other riders, Chelsea Burden, big shout out to Chelsea. She's having her operation today on her collarbone. So hope it all goes well, Chelsea, and you're back in the riding ranks ASAP.
Yeah, we're getting full of riders, aren't we? But it's interesting. What other occupation do you get your livelihood taken off you for a period of time? Yeah, the occupation you can think of, apart from sport. You can get fined, can't you? But
maybe being a doctor, a surgery or two, you stood down. Probably stood down forever.
Depends how big the boo-boo was.
Good morning, doctor. Yes, I'm just back from a 3-week suspension for a bad operation. I think they've just changed the rules too, trying to rules around suspensions and fines. I think the concept is more fines, less suspensions to try and keep more jockeys in business, as opposed to sitting on the sidelines, but still trying to maintain obviously the integrity and the rules. So yeah, there was something coming out on that. I think you probably read about on the JCA site, the RIU site, one of the two.
I'll have a look at that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Rightio. Okay, big races tomorrow at Waikato. Looking forward to that. Waikato Cup. It's a horse that Justin Mays won last year, I think.
Yeah, I think you were on it. I know the Encore Punters Club, after that they were on it. It was their only click, but it was good enough to make some profit. But yeah, he led all the way last year. Sam Spratt for David Green. Obviously, Sam's out injured, so she won't be riding. I don't know. What's your speed map showing us in terms of will he get a soft lead? Doesn't look like it. We're looking at the speed map here.
Well, the thing is, he can miss the jump, and he's drawn 2. So if he does that, he's going to need some luck to get through them to get to the lead. And they've got like Spring the Light, Paul Zeke will be going forward, even Mazzetto. And that one, there's a few. So if he misses the jump, he could be, Pooh Street pretty quickly. So no, I think Savvy on block, the way she motored home at Pukekohe, her sectional was outstanding. It was just as fast as some of the sprinters on that day. And she was unlucky, wasn't she?
Yeah. Didn't get cleared to about the 200, and then a couple more strides she would have got up. But
yeah,
I mean, Jamie's always suggested that she's a black type winner in waiting, and yeah, $2.50 I think is probably about as short as you need in a race like that. But Danielle Johnson in red hot form, so no, I think she probably does look the one. But you wouldn't be taking anything shorter than 250. I wouldn't have thought.
No, well, she's coming from 280 to 250. Got to be hard to beat. Good race before. After that is the Kalai Suzu Stakes. Wait for age fillies and mares in Superior. A lot of people didn't like Superior's run last start, which was understandable, but the section thought it was a pretty good run. She came home,
dropped the whip, the rider at the free.
Yeah, right. That doesn't help, does it?
Yeah. No, Superior was our favourite.
You're doing a rock on the wood, eh?
Yeah, it was our favourite horse last season, wasn't it? We had some good collects until Captain Cook Day when it all went astray. But no, I can't have it this time. Okay. I found one at a bit more value. I reckon a man that's training like an absolute man possessed. His stable is on absolute fire. And you look, when he lines a horse up in a group race and engages Opie Boston, strike rate's pretty darn good. The horse I refer to, of course, is number 5, Cinerama, Flashing Home Lake at Tauranga behind Concert Hall. And I just think, the way this horse has been prepped, she got to listed level last year and won the Taranaki race, Group 3, I think it was actually.
Yeah.
So
easily too.
Yeah, won that pretty easily. Yeah. So I quite like Cinerama, got a good gate, stable on fire, OP riding. I think I'd rather back here at 650 than Superior at, what's she at, $3 odds?
260.
260. No,
yeah.
Leave me out of that. Yeah. You can stick with
that. No, I would never bet in that race. I do like Cinerama. The only query for me is she's been slow out of the gates, but Opie's pretty cunning. He's on a horse last night that didn't get out well and got caught 3 wide, but I'm sure from barrier 2.
Got a horse called All Paid Up.
All Paid Up's the one. No, forget that. Lucas Steele, go forward. I like Lucas there, but I think Cinerama, Opie Boston on a lot of the boxes as long as it gets out.
You look at that though, you go, well, it's set weights, they all carry 57, and Superior's a rating 101, Cinerama's a rating 90, so if they meet in a handicap, 5.5 kilos and has to race Superior at set weight. So the weights and measures suggest Superior, but I just think that horse isn't quite up to its peak form of last season, and I think Cinerama's right in the zone.
Oh, she is. No, she's and she looked well at Tauranga that day at the races, but she looked outstanding. So she's back on track. And Superior's in fold too. So this is her second to last run apparently. There's a Beal.
Yeah, there's like I think if you look at all the empirical evidence, I don't think some people say it helps them, but I don't think over a wide number of horses, I don't think that it does help nor hinder being in fault.
Doesn't it? Oh,
No,
I'd rather have them in file, I suppose.
we'll find some data on that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, eh?
I'll write that down. I'll do my homework. Yeah,
I read
no,
something
it'd
about that too on that same sort of thing, but yeah.
be a good race.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be watching from home, and I'll be down at Awapuni.
Yeah, hopefully on a decent day of racing, because the track's a slow 8 down there.
Yeah,
Fairly
good race. The Eulogy, couple of good fillies up the
Yeah,
top there,
yeah.
and that Samina Bibi, I think they rate quite highly as well. But Key and She's a Catch, but on a wet track, I'd be all over Key and the Eulogy, just quietly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pass on the sports selection this week. There's not much sports going on at the moment.
Not unless you want to back the Black Cat for $1.25 and wait 5 days
Days.
to collect.
No,
Probably won't need to wait 5 days, but yeah. No, we'll give the sports a miss. We kind of hit the end of the so-called winter sports in early December. That's been the crazy year that it's been. So we'll have a bit of a freshen up and hopefully come up firing down the track. We better go to a sports question that we had last time, which was 2 weeks ago, our last podcast.
Yeah.
When we were reflecting on Argentina beating the All Blacks for the first time, and we wanted to know who was the previous team to beat the All Blacks for the very first time, and it was a pretty simple question. The answer, of course, was Ireland. That came in Chicago, and I think we had, 8 correct people?
8 correct answers. Give me a number.
Give you a number. Number 4.
Number 4. LNA. He's won before too recently, so it's his lucky
day. LNA, well done.
So we'll put up that multi for you tomorrow by lunchtime tomorrow.
There'll be no sports selections, Alan, so you're a big chance of nailing that multi. We better do another question. We got enough money in the tin for another free bet.
Hopefully, if one of those horses win this afternoon, like Sesto and Lamentus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
what are we going for?
A racing question, multi-choice, but outside the square. This one.
Good question.
Richard Collett has trained 457 winners in his career. Which jockey has ridden the majority of his winners? Multi-choice. A, Jason Collett. B, Tash Collett. C, Alicia Collett. D, Jim Collett. Or E, Sam Collett. So if you don't know, have a guess. But question a bit out of left field.
Yeah.
But I think you did get it right when I tested you on it. Well done. Don't give the answer away.
I'll give you a hint that the surname starts with C. There you go. 027 352 6402 and or formpro at formpro.co.nz by Tuesday night. Get it in there and have a chance of winning that $20 multi. Rightio. Now, I've read everything else except for a new segment here, which we've named
Trip Down Memory Lane. Yeah. So we've retired the Stump the Goat segment. I think people get a bit sick of that, and I was starting to lose my credibility. So we're going to, between Neil and I, we'll come up with a horse each week that we'll just reflect on. And they won't be the champions of yesteryear that everyone knows about. They'll be interesting horses that might have a bit of unusualness in their careers. So I'll start this week, Neil, with a horse by the name of Satisfy. This was a horse trained at Wanganui in the 1986, 87. Yeah. He started racing like a lot of 2-year-olds do in that first race at Wanganui. Nothing unusual about that. I think he ran 3rd, so it's fine. But what was unusual is between that race in the early September and the 1st of January, so what's that? September, October, November. 4 months, the first 4 months of his career, he had, just bringing up his record here. He had 10 starts as a 2-year-old before the 1st of January. 10 starts.
Incredible.
Didn't win a single race. Obviously needed the practice. Then he carried on racing through January, February, March. He finally won a race in March. And then 2 starts after that, he then won the Group 1 size produce at Manawatu in about March of 1987. So you'd think he'd done enough as a 2-year-old. He'd won a Group 1, the size, but no, he kept racing. He kept racing right through, and even contested the Rider Stakes as a late 2-year-old.
Yep.
It happened to be his 23rd start as a 2-year-old. 23 starts as a 2-year-old. He ran second in the Rider Stakes behind a very good horse called Western Lee, who was very ill-fated, was going to start the favourite in the Derby, but was had to be down, I think, a training incident about a week before the Derby. So he's had 23 starts as a 2-year-old, but no, you think, well, does he deserve a spell now? No. He ran in August, a couple of races in August, ran third in the Wanganui Guineas, raced in September, ran in the Hawke's Bay Guineas, raced in October, won the Wellington Guineas, I think, as a 3-year-old.
Yep.
Went down south, ran third in the 2000 Guineas in November, came back, ran fourth in the Bayer Classic, went up to Avondale, ran third in the Avondale Guineas, and at his 33rd career start, when the Derby was on Boxing Day, he won the Derby. 33rd start, and he's a 3-year-old, and it's only December, and he wins the Derby. Do you think the racing improved him or flattened him?
Well, he obviously loved racing, and the trainer loved racing him.
Yeah.
And he was pretty consistent all the way through, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What was amazing.
So, a horse started as a 2-year-old in September, 23 starts as a 2-year-old, 10 more starts as a 3-year-old, and he wins the Derby. Needless to say, his career did tail off. It wasn't an absolute stellar career. He finished with 88 starts with 6 wins. But, he was in the 3-year-old year with Poetic Prince. It was a very good horse.
Yeah.
So Poetic Prince never contested the Derby because the right-handed one going generally. But yeah, Western Lee, very good horse. Just an amazing.
Yeah.
How many horses would start 10 times before the January the 1st of the 2-year-old? It would probably be the loony bin. The men in white coats would turn up. But not satisfied. Nick Mikaloff trained at Wanganui.
Yeah.
I'd challenge anyone who could name another horse he trained. I can't recall any. He might have had one other, but this was his pride and joy. And obviously, as he said, Neil, he loved racing him, and the horse delivered. And I think he finished with a career of 88 starts. Just scroll up there. 88 starts, 6 wins. Remember, this is the 80s, and he still finished with 520,000. So not bad prize money at that time. That would have bought you probably 3 houses in Auckland back then.
That's right, yeah.
So, it's probably the equivalent of 3 million in today's dollars. So just amazing what that horse achieved.
22 starts on heavy, no wins.
No, didn't like the
One,
heavy.
yeah, one placing on a slow track,
Yeah.
just on 11 good tracks. Did he win the Derby on protest?
Yes, he did. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the horse called Accountant, Kathy Tremaine
That's
rode.
right, yeah.
And I think the margin, if we scroll down, I think the margin was either a head or a neck.
Yeah.
Keep going. There's a few starts to get between here. Yeah, and then interference in the straight, and he won it on protest, which again was another little segue to the story of something a bit unusual. Keep going down. We're scrolling down his race career here.
Cool. Yeah. There
There it is. A nose, yes. And Narbotto run third.
Yeah.
That horse run third in a Melbourne Cup.
That's right, yeah.
So, yeah, they were the good old days. So, yeah, each week we'll just reflect on a horse. I think Neil's got one lined up. He might try and get some info on that, one of his favourites of yesteryear, and just to walk down memory lane. So, yeah, that was the career of Satisfied.
Amazing. Yeah, it'd be good to get some footage of it. We had to look on YouTube, couldn't find anything, but if anyone has any video, they can email to me. Let me know and we can put it up on here. So let us know. That's amazing. Yeah. No, you don't get that too often these days, do you? Most horses, 2-year-olds, 4, 5, 6 starts at the most, and
Max.
yeah.
You look. So what do we say? Satisfied won the Derby at his 33rd start. Excellent won the Derby at his 4th start.
Yeah.
Bit of a contrast, and they were both on Boxing Day. So that Excellent was the last Derby on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
But no, something a bit different.
Yeah.
Any B&Bs or reflections of the last couple of weeks, Neil, that you want to touch on?
Well, it seemed to be Kunova's going well, races going well, so it's just good to see a good vibe, and everyone's enjoying being at the races. And Taurunga's on today, and we've got Awapuni, and a lot of meetings, Christmas at the races coming up, haven't we? So
Yes, definitely.
everyone's
And
doing
I'll be confident in saying The biggest crowd on course tomorrow will not be at Te Rapa, and it will not be at Awapuni. It will be at Southland, Invercargill. They get a
Right.
huge
They do,
turnout
don't
on that day. So no, it's still a popular entertainment option for people. And if we can get them on course and get them excited, then they might take a small share in a horse, and that's where the interest sort of grows from. And that's what we want in this industry. People being involved one way or the other. But no, it should be a good couple of days racing, and you've got to stay behind and do all your sectional work that you crunch there. You got your, I'm surprised you're wearing pants. You normally sit in your office there without any pants
Yeah.
on and crunch all those numbers and lock yourself away in a dark room.
Yeah, get them done eventually, but try and get some sleep in somewhere. But it's good fun. And what else was I going to say? I forgot. Yeah, people who I've been speaking to the last week or so, quite a few saying they're going to the Tauranga races that wouldn't normally go. So there'll be a big crowd there today, I think.
Yeah, no, there will be a big crowd. I think there's still a bit of a post-COVID sort of thing. People want to get out and enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
They realise that, hey, it is not an absolute right that we have, that we can just go in and do what we want sometimes. I think COVID taught us that you got to enjoy those things that you do and those gatherings and mixing and mingling and the like. So yeah, I think there'll be a big crowd there. Fair to say, not the world's flashiest fields, but 90% of the people there won't know the difference, so they'll be enjoying themselves. And there's still some winners to be found, and good luck to all those in the Punters Club that have entrusted Neil with their money, and he'll be keeping you updated on the site as to the progress of that. So hopefully on the 3rd anniversary of the great Ruby Amani, George Simon utters the words, "To the roars of the Punters Club." He'll never have to buy another beer in these parts again.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Here's hoping. Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody.